Support for Louisiana, the state we're in, is provided by...
Every day, I go to work for Entergy.
I know customers are counting on me.
So Entergy is investing millions of dollars
to keep the lights on
and installing new technology
to prevent outages before they happen.
Together,
we power life.
Additional support provided by the Fred B. and Ruth B. Ziegler Foundation and the Ziegler Art Museum located in Jennings City Hall. The museum focuses on emerging Louisiana artists and is an historical and cultural center for Southwest Louisiana. And the Foundation for Excellence in Louisiana Public Broadcasting, with support from viewers like you.
It's important to know this area was built by Acadians.
Holiday traditions across Louisiana, starting in Acadiana.
We just wanted a minute that's going to contribute to his lighting the way down the levee. So all the kids in Garyville will get their presents this year.
Behind the scenes with Christmas Eve bonfire builders.
We have probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 1 million Christmas lights out there.
We are the 8th best city in the world to celebrate Christmas.
Traveling along the Louisiana Holiday Trail of Lights.
Happy holidays, everyone. I'm Cara St. Cyr.
And I'm Karen LeBlanc. Welcome to our Christmas episode of Louisiana, the State We're In, where we take you on a tour of holiday traditions across Louisiana. Making headlines are the happy things that spark joy during the season.
We begin our tour of holiday happenings in South Louisiana. As that region prepares for Papa Noel's faithful journey through the bayou, the Noel Acadien au village is reminding visitors of their heritage with a display of beautiful lights and Cajun history. Take a look.
Most of these houses are dedicated and all the houses are named. And the names of the houses are the families that lived in it, which is really cool. Because this house we're about to pass on our right, last fall, a 97-year-old man came in and said, I grew up in this house. I want to go look around. Wow. Yeah, what an experience.
All authentic.
All authentic.
Brian Henskins is the CEO of LARC, a nonprofit organization with the goal of providing comfort for Lafayette's intellectually disabled population. On his mission to make this community a better place, Henskins never imagined he'd fall in love with this. A 10-acre display of Acadiana's past.
Just amazing to walk through it and have living history.
The living history Brian's referring to is called Noel Acadien au village. It's a display of a 19th century Cajun village, decorated with authentic homes and artifacts taken from Cajun descendants all over South Louisiana. But when the temperature drops and dusk sets in at 5 p.m., this quaint relic of history becomes a beautiful showcase of heritage and lights, with the church at its centerpiece.
Let's talk about the significance of this place. It's really historical, and you can tell by looking around.
Yeah. So we were just in the church. The church is an 1860 church. All of the houses actually are early 1900s. They were all brought from south of here and sort of made a village that would look like it would back in the early 1900s. And that's even what the bayou going through it's about, because they lived next to bayous and the church was next to a bayou, because your priest might not come around but once a month. He'd go down the bayou, stopping at villages, he'd come up the bayou. So if you had to get married, you waited till he came back. So when he got back, he baptized, he married, he confirmed, he first communioned, he said mass, and then he moved on down the bayou.
Why is it important to preserve a history like that?
I think it makes you appreciate what you have, because nothing just popped up. All this society didn't just pop up. Somebody built it, somebody made it, somebody worked really hard for us to have what we have. We take blacktop roads for granted. We take cars for granted. We take air conditioning for granted. They had none of those things. But because of the work they did, because the Acadians came here and were so resilient and so good at what they did with the farming, they built an economy.
For the holiday season, the church, all the other neighboring homes, and the fields surrounding the display will be draped in lights. 500,000 to be specific.
The village is transformed into almost a Christmas wonderland.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me all that goes into it?
It's a lot of work. Late October, early September, we start putting up the lights at that time as well. It's over 1 million lights. It's a lot of work. And all the houses, of course, we have to wrap those, and you have to wrap those in a way that we're not putting staples in these houses, so it makes it a little more difficult. You have to be really creative about how you put the lights on them. So it's huge. It's 45 volunteers a night, and we go 23 nights.
The process is hard, but to Brian, the effort is well worth the work. All of the money collected from ticket purchases is used to better the lives of Lafayette's intellectually disabled at Lark. Last year, when temperatures dropped, Brian's organization took a hit. Less people showed up, making this year's ticket sales crucial.
It was really cold, the weather was really bad, the turnout was low because of that. And so, thank the good Lord, this year the weather's beautiful. It looks like it's going to continue to be beautiful. It's cool, but not too cold, so it's really got a Christmassy feel. And honestly, there's more to see this year. There's more lights than there have ever been.
This year, Brian is expecting about 6,000 people to show up on the final weekend. Those who do choose to get lost in the Christmas reverie can expect carnival rides, Louisiana's culinary staples, and a store packed with art and holiday whimsy. It's this attention to detail that attracts visitors like Sarah and Wyatt Lemire every single year.
So this is our yearly tradition. Every year we come to see the lights at Acadien Village, do a couple of the rides, have hot chocolate, listen to carolers, and then take a picture with Santa. I have 2 girls, so we have pictures from when they were babies in front of all of the displays in the houses. So it's a beautiful thing to look back on to see how they grow throughout the years.
Though the village's Christmas display ends on Saturday, Brian says it's worth a visit, if not for the holidays, for the history.
I think it's important to know who you are and to know where you live. Even if you aren't Acadian, it's important to know this area was built by Acadians. And so, in my opinion, you sort of owe something to them. And we owe it to people to keep that heritage alive, in my opinion. And we owe it to people, and we owe it to history to take care of these homes.
Next, we head to Garyville in St. John the Baptist Parish between New Orleans and Baton Rouge, where generations of residents in this small town have been preserving the craft and tradition of Christmas Eve bonfires. I'm taking you behind the scenes with bonfire builders who make the wooden structures that they ignite on Christmas Eve to light the way for Papa Noel. And we'll visit the Bonfire Festival in Lutcher, part of the exciting buildup to the main event. Along the Mississippi River levee in Garyville, wood structures start taking shape around Thanksgiving as bonfire builders get to work stacking and hammering wooden shapes to ignite on Christmas Eve night. It's a tradition in St. James Parish that dates back to the early 1700s, tied to Cajun folklore, started by early settlers of the river parishes. The belief is that the levee bonfires light the way for Papa Noel to deliver presents. I wanted to take you behind the scenes to show you the kind of work that goes into building these bonfires that light up the levee. So we are visiting the site of Blood, Sweat, and Bonfires. It's a group of bonfire builders who've been together since 1998 as kids building here on the levee. And each year they build these extravagant bonfires, and they're different. Let's take a walk, and I want to take a look at this.
All right.
What is it that you're building this year?
All right, so this year we decided to do an alligator garfish because it kind of fits the theme that we've been going with year after year with Louisiana type bayou swamp creatures.
Starting a few days after Thanksgiving, the group gathers each weekend to build the wooden structures leading up to Christmas Eve. It's also a time to socialize and connect with the community, the many people who stop by to chat and watch the bonfire building.
So this is our very first bonfire we ever built as a group of kids on the levee, and this was done in like '98. I'm up here, he's in here.
Over the years, this group of friends has built bonfires in the likeness of all sorts of Louisiana creatures: a largemouth bass, a crawfish, a crab, a pelican, snapper turtle, and occasionally deviating from Louisiana themes to produce the space shuttle, a guitar, and a breast cancer memorial, just to name a few in its long history. Bonfire builders say their latest creation puts the gar in Garyville with their gar gator spanning 40 feet long and 7 feet tall.
So it's kind of one of those things like a Louisiana style Christmas. We put our own twist on things, and this is just something so unique to our region. And we've been doing it so long, it's got history to it. And we just enjoy doing it so much. It's just been so much fun for us over the years. We look forward to it every year.
The build-up to the main event includes the beloved Festival of the Bonfires in Lutcher.
You know, it's been a family tradition in St. James Parish to build bonfires on the levee to light the way for Papa Noel, for people can see our small town, St. James Parish, and that's what we decided to do, a Festival of the Bonfires to kind of give a little glimpse of it if you can't come Christmas Eve. So we light some bonfires at the festival, and then we get ready for Christmas Eve, where we open our doors to the tourists. They come into our homes, eat gumbo, just chat around, and then light a bonfire on the levee for Papa Noel.
Folks gather around the festival bonfire with a modern-day twist on this Cajun tradition. A fireworks show of cascading lights that dance above the flickering bonfire flames. The night is aglow from the ground up to the sky.
It's always the second full weekend in December, and we just have live music, you know, arts and craft. We have a gumbo cook-off on Friday night that always has over 100 gumbos. We had actually our Teen and Miss Festival of Bonfires pageant. We have teens that come throughout the entire state of Louisiana to come and support the girls.
Today, these bonfires line the levee for miles, attracting thousands of visitors. Many Louisiana families that make Christmas Eve bonfire outings part of their holiday tradition. At 7 p.m. on Christmas Eve, fire chiefs send the signal to light the fires.
So all the kids are going to thank you because Santa Claus, or AKA Papa Noel,
That's right.
will see his way along the lighted levee thanks to the bonfires.
Yep.
People like you.
We just wanted a minute that's going to contribute to his lighting the way down the levee. So all the kids in Garyville will get their presents this year.
Merry Christmas from Garyville!
If you plan to attend the bonfires, take note, the bonfire lightings have been moved up to Saturday night, December 23rd, instead of Sunday night, December 24th, due to rainfall predicted on Christmas Eve. This season, Natchitoches celebrates its distinction as the world's 8th best Christmas city for its Christmas festival and its full calendar of holiday events. The Festival of Lights, as it's commonly known, started in 1927, sparking joy and holiday traditions for generations of families. Now in its 97th year, the Natchitoches Christmas Festival is a must-see attraction along the Louisiana Holiday Trail of Lights, and it is our first stop on the tour.
What's y'all's names? Anna.
The Bayou family carries on a tradition from their childhood growing up in Natchitoches, a visit to the Santa Claus house as the city lights up for the annual Christmas festival.
We've grown up here, we've lived here our whole lives, and so for us coming as kids ourselves to be able to bring our children and get to come down here and literally have this in our backyard is so special each year to get to do it, and we're so excited to be so close to the 100th year of it and to be able to celebrate that with our kids.
The Natchitoches Christmas Festival is now in its 97th year, and as the sun sets, the waterway lights up with over 100 lighted displays, 300,000 lights. It's a beloved tradition that attracts visitors from all over.
It's a magical place during the Christmas season, and what we know from our tourism folks is we are the 8th best city in the world to celebrate Christmas. So that's a big thing. That's not in the South, that's not in the United States, that's the world.
Interestingly enough, the tradition was started by a city utility worker.
Our uncle, Charlie Maggio, he worked for the city. He was an electrician, a lineman, and he and Charlie Solomon and some other folks at the city, they built the first Christmas set pieces that you see still, and some of the original ones are still here on the riverbank.
Chris and Carmela Maggio are siblings who carry on the Christmas festival legacy started by their family members.
As kids, again, we had 30, 40 cousins, and every night, back in those days, you had to manually turn on the Christmas lights. So our Uncle Charlie would take about 4 or 5 of us every night, and we would flip the switch to turn on the lights every Christmas.
Each holiday season, the Maggio siblings open the doors to Santa Claus House, founded by their aunt in the late 1950s. It's a beautiful and bittersweet story. Santa Claus House honors the memory of Barry, their aunt's 3-year-old son. Barry wanted to see Santa on a family shopping trip to Shreveport, but he never got the chance.
Barry, our cousin, said, "That's okay, Mama, we'll see Santa next year." Well, unfortunately, within that year, there was an accident in the home, and Barry passed away. And so our aunt, Jeanette Maggio Gunner, went to the mayor back in the late 1950s and said, "If you'll build a Santa Claus house, we'll make sure that no kid in Natchitoches that every kid in Natchitoches has the opportunity to see Santa."
Santa Claus House is open free of charge for children and pets to visit, take photos, and tell Santa what's on their Christmas list. Carmela volunteers to keep Santa Claus House open nightly during the Christmas festival through December 23rd.
I took on this because we want to carry on the legacy that my aunt started years ago. I think it means a lot because when I come every night, I meet so many families, local families and families from out of town, and I just see the joy on the kids' faces as they come to see Santa.
Joy and the pride that comes with being a Christmas belle, a dream of countless young girls growing up in Natchitoches, including Alyssa Robertson, current Christmas belle, Santa's assistant, and Christmas festival ambassador.
And whenever we were all little, we wanted to be Christmas bells, so now it's kind of cool to be one now. I've been called Mrs. Claus, elves, a bunch of different things, so it's cool to see them, and I used to be one of those.
And the title comes with a responsibility. Tell me about that.
It does. So a lot of it was academic, and so maintaining that, coming to all of the things that we go to. We go all over the state, festivals.
One of the highlights of the Natchitoches Christmas Festival is the holiday home tour. The city is filled with these charming historic bed and breakfast inns, such as this one here, the Still Magnolia House, all decorated for the holidays.
A canopy of lights covers the streets of downtown historic Natchitoches as holiday shopping, special events, and shows bring an uptick in business.
Friends and relations.
On this night, Zydeco musician Catrice LaCour was performing with the LaCour Trio.
First of all, congratulations. You are riding in the Rose Parade and performing. What an honor.
That's quite unbelievable. Yes, very excited.
What was your reaction? How did you find out?
Well, I found out several months ago, but I had to keep it a secret because it wasn't announced yet.
Yes, this is Christmas. Yes, Christmas, my dear.
The Northwestern State University Middle Lab School orchestra director was recently inducted into the Louisiana Music Educators Association Hall of Fame, and he's writing in honor of music education, the theme of this year's Rose Parade float. Natchitoches is one of several North Louisiana cities along the Louisiana Holiday of Lights Trail, bringing visitors and boosting local economies.
When you say economy, a great economic impact, I think a lot of people feel that, especially our downtown merchants. It's typically the best time of the year from an economic standpoint for them.
Our holiday Trail of Lights tour continues in Shreveport, where rose gardens have transformed into a lighted winter wonderland at the American Rose Center. So come along with me as I explore the history behind this 40-year-old beloved event that is a favorite holiday tradition for countless families. The Louisiana Holiday Trail of Lights originated in 1992, and it runs along I-20 and I-49 in North Louisiana through several cities, including Shreveport, which is where we're headed to hit the highlights. Shreveport is one of 8 North Louisiana cities along the Holiday of Lights Trail, and the main attraction is here at the Rose Center, Christmas in Roseland. It's a half a mile of lights. Lots and lots of lights. Estimates are more than 1 million. Let's go check it out. Hi.
Hi.
Claire?
Yes.
Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Thank you so much for having me here at the Rose Center. It's all aglow.
Yes, it is. It's wonderful to have you. Thank you for coming.
So tell me about this. This is now in its 40th year?
Yes, it is. It's our 40-year anniversary.
Wow. So what goes on here?
This is it's Christmas in Roseland. It is our largest fundraiser for the American Rose Society. And so what we do is every year we light up our gardens with Christmas lights, and we invite the community to come out and enjoy them.
There are a lot of lights here. What kind of work goes into this?
It's a lot of work. We begin putting up Christmas lights the 1st of October, and we go right up until when our Christmas light event begins right before Thanksgiving.
Any idea how many lights? Have you ever counted?
I've never counted them, but we have probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 1 million Christmas lights out there.
The American Rose Center spans 118 acres. It's planted with a vast variety of roses as the largest rose garden in the nation and home to the national headquarters of the American Rose Society.
A lot of families just come back year after year, and they say that it's that tradition. They enjoy bringing back their children and now their grandchildren. It's about a half a mile walk out there, and so it's a lot of fun. There's a lot to see.
Next, it's off to Shreveport Discovery Center for the science of the holiday season.
Shreveport opened back up in 2019, so it opened November 24th and it'll be here until the 28th of January. So it's our most anticipated seasonal exhibit. It's our winter wonderland basically, and it's about all the science behind both winter and snowflake making. We have a snow globe that they can be in that has the landscape of Shreveport. We have the inflatable igloo, some Lego building challenges, as well as a motion picture with our gnomes over here. We also have our ice fishing pond and our xylophone tree.
I love this.
Yeah.
So the holidays are not just about Santa, the holidays can be about science as well.
100%.
And so we say goodbye to the Louisiana Holiday Trail of Lights with festive scenes from other participating cities.
After an eventful 8 years in office, Governor John Bel Edwards will complete his second term in January, making room for the incoming Landry administration. During his tenure, he faced a barrage of natural disasters, an unprecedented health crisis, and Louisiana's largest fiscal deficit in history. For our special end-of-the-year coverage, we sat down with the governor as he spoke about his legacy, his regrets, and his hopes for Louisiana's future. Here's a sneak peek. So at this point, you're no stranger to resilience and having to rebuild, but in your opinion, what's the most difficult aspect of disaster recovery in Louisiana?
Yeah, well, first of all, it is very challenging under any circumstance. Every recovery is dependent upon an appropriation from Congress, so you don't know how much it's going to be until after they appropriate it, and the language in the appropriation instrument changes each time. And so the rules change. And so you have to wait for Congress to make the appropriation, and then the allocation has to be made to Louisiana out of that overall appropriation. You have to read the language, and then the HUD has to, through the Federal Register notice, let us know what the rules are going to be.
So it's a lot of moving parts.
Oh, it's a lot of moving parts, but we have the most experience in the country, and now we can't skip steps because you have to do things right. But it's just very difficult. But we're blessed to have really good public servants in Louisiana who have an awful lot of experience across that whole process. But I will tell you, the storms that were the hardest to deal with were Laura in 2020 and Ida in 2021. Southwest Louisiana, Southeast Louisiana, the two strongest hurricanes to ever make landfall in our state, and it happened during the height of the COVID public health emergency. And so everything changes. How you shelter people changes, how you go out and inspect properties, how you deliver assistance. I mean, all of that was just much more difficult during those years. But again, very blessed by just the wonderful public servants we have here in our state.
If you want to watch that full interview, tune in to SWI on December 29th at 7 p.m.
I am really looking forward to that interview and just hearing what he thinks his legacy is.
And the other thing that I'm really looking forward to is Christmas Day. What is your favorite holiday tradition?
Okay, holiday baking. I bake my granny's pecan pie and my mama's peanut butter fudge.
Okay, I remember you telling us this. I think it was back during Thanksgiving. Well, hopefully you'll be able to bake something wonderful. And I believe that is our show for this week. Remember, you can watch anything LPB anytime, wherever you are, with our LPB PBS app.
And you can catch LPB news and public affairs shows, as well as other Louisiana programs you've come to enjoy over the years. And please, like us on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
For everyone at Louisiana Public Broadcasting, I'm Kara St. Cyr.
And I'm Karen LeBlanc. Happy holidays. And until next time, that's the state we're in.
Every day, I go to work for Entergy.
I know customers are counting on me. So Entergy is investing millions of dollars to keep the lights on and installing new technology
to prevent outages before they happen.
Together.
We power life.
Additional support provided by the Fred B. and Ruth B. Ziegler Foundation and the Ziegler Art Museum located in Jennings City Hall. The museum focuses on emerging Louisiana artists and is an historical and cultural center for Southwest Louisiana. And the Foundation for Excellence in Louisiana Public Broadcasting, with support from viewers like you.